So, we have been learning about the circle in the last few days, and let me just review the parts of the circle and then we move on to a new topic. Ooh. Okay, so remember what do you call this? Yes, that's the center. What do you call this? Yes, that's the radius. That's the center. What do you call this? That's another radius. And what do we call this? It's part of the circumference. And this one, that's called an arc. And you see, or there's an arc and or an arced length. And of course today that's what we're going to do. We're going to calculate the arc length of the circle. Of the circle. So there has to be an observation here. Let's just talk about this in here. What's the relationship between the length and the angle? So if I had this one, there's because they have this angle and we have a bigger angle like this. It goes to show that the bigger the angle is the bigger or the longer is the arch length. Yes, do you follow that? So we can say that the length of the arc, yes, length of the arc is, yes, the length of this arc is proportional. Yeah, we did ratio and proportion before. Proportional to the angle. Yes. And that's an important consideration. Now, so how do we calculate for the length? So, for example, let me just put things away. For example, we have, okay, let's take this as an example here. Let's say this is 50 degrees, right? And we have here a, let's see, we have here a diameter of 50. Well, we have here a diameter of, okay, we have here a radius of 13. Yeah, 13 centimeters. So before we could calculate the whole thing, it would be better if we calculate the circumference first. Yes, what's the value? What's the value of the circumference or the length of the circle? So we have here circumference. Well, we always look at pi d, yeah, because some of you have not remembered this. Pi is essentially, yeah, c divided by d, yeah, or c divided by d is pi, and the opposite of that is pi times d equals c. Yeah, that's the opposite. Yeah. So in a way, circumference is pi d. And so we get the circumference. Pi is 3.14 times the diameter. The diameter is twice the radius. Yeah, diameter is twice the radius. So here, 2 times 13 is 36. So that's really our value here, 36. And so we get, obviously, we get the calculator. So we have 3.14 times 36. Our answer is 113.04. Whoa, 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 whoa. There's some kind of mistake in there. So then we calculate for the circumference, which is 3.14. That's the value of pi, times the diameter. What's the diameter? Well, the diameter is twice the radius. So twice the radius here is 13. So you have a diameter of 26 centimeters. And that's what you're going to put in here, 26. And so we get our calculator. And calculator would be 3.14 times 26. And your value is 81.64 centimeters. That's the length of this circle. Now, we're only interested with this arc. We're only interested of the value of this. What is that? So we calculate for what I call the length of the arc. So here, let's use that color. So length of arc is the angle. Let's say the angle, yeah, or just A over the total angle of the circle, which is 360. Yes. So a fraction of the angle times what? Times the circumference. Yeah, this value that we just got. So what's the angle? 50 over 360 times what's the circumference is 81.64. And so here we just divide this, reduce this, so divide this by both 10, so it's 536 over 81.64. Well, you can calculate it now. So it will be 5 divided by 36 times the circumference, which is 81.64. And your answer is 11.33 or 34, yeah, 2 decimal places, centimeters. That's the value of this arc length. Okay. So we just calculated the length of that arc. Now, that length of the arc here, it's a smaller arc. And when it's a smaller arc, we call that a minor arc. Now, The other side of it, the bigger, what about this arc here, which has a longer way to go? That's what you call the major arc. So now I'm going to give you some homework as usual. So I'd like you to calculate this arc. So this is homework. Oh, I'm running out of ink. Homework is that if you have this angle here, and that is an angle of 75 degrees, and you have a radius of 18 centimeters. What is the length of that arc? Yes, that's question 1. Well, the second question would be this one. So this is one of the arcs that I mentioned. So well, this is you got here the radius is 23 centimeters, and then this is a right angle, but you're going to solve for this arc. And of course the last question would be number 3. Let's do it like this. And this would be, here it's 25. The angle here is 25 degrees, and you have a radius of, from here to here, the radius would be 4.4 meters. So let me know your answers in the comment section below, or just email me, because I don't want you to put the answers in the thread, otherwise others would see it. Okay, see you in the next episode.